September the 12th, and we're on our way into Algonquin for a couple of weeks. Here we are, ready to go. First portage of the trip. We're done the first portage. This is 365. I don't know. There's a campsite in here. You can go 489 that way, low water option. We're gonna go for it and hope that the water's high enough to get through. Here we go. Catching our breath at the top of this hill. Portage is great. I mean, it's huge, flat. Nice little sandy put-in.
Sun is coming up in Algonquin. I don't know if you can see the sun coming through the trees there. Huge trees, love them.
We had a nice night by the rapids. Just gonna take off. Portage is right over there. We're just taking a breather at the top of this big hill we came up. We figure it's just slightly more than halfway. Nice trail, nice and flat.
Heck of an incline.
Yeah. Just preparing for the portage from Manitou to North T. It's a really nice spot. Well, we're set up here on North T on the east arm. Been here for a couple hours. Had a little swim out there. It's very shallow out there. Just watch the sun go down. What a fiery ball. And we're all packed up here this morning. Nice leisurely morning. Taking our time, and we are off to Biggar Lake today, which is not that far according to the map, so we're really not in a rush today. We're just gonna take it easy. We're at the first portage of the day. Nice to be out of that sun. Unbelievable how hot it is today. Nice. Had a nice swim in the falls. Yeah. And we got one more little portage and then we're at our lake for the day. So we're really just taking our time. Here we are in Biggar Lake. Looks like a nice lake.
It does.
And all we have to do is go find a campsite, and that's it. We just watched a rabbit run beside our chairs and come running down here. And now he's gone. We're just sitting there eating some trail mix, and you just hear this thing coming up beside us. It's like, what? Big giant rabbit. We just had 4 people come by. They went over there, and then there's another canoe came by, and they're going up the side over there. But look at the view. Oh my God. Just incredible. Like, this is a beautiful sight. We're out for a little fish. I think that down there is where the portage is for tomorrow. Well, it's a little bit cooler today. And it's a nice misty morning. Bit of a wind already. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, or showed this, but this campsite has a giant rock right in the middle here. It's just huge. Nice shelter in bad weather, that's for sure. But this is where I'm going to make breakfast today. Here we go. Have to do the first portage of the day. It's 2,000 or something. we are. It's a 2010. It's better than 2080 or whatever.
9.
Yeah, I thought it was. So, beautiful looking portage here. We had nice high water in this creek. I could see where if that beaver dam wasn't at the end, this would have been much more miserable. Taking a drink break here about a quarter of the way. We passed by a place where something had dug up the ground, and then a little while later there was a giant bear crop right in the middle of the trail. And then a little bit up there the moose track started up, so that's nice. Made it to the end of the portage. There's a little campsite here, and we just stopped and caught our breath, had a snack, and now we're into Loughrin Creek, which looks pretty low. Okay, we're moving along here through Loughrin Creek. There's water, there's enough water to paddle, but there's times where it's thick, like very thick, like it's like paddling through pea soup. What a huge beaver dam there.
So you gotta come up around.
Okay. Like an old logging road here. Oh, there's a bridge there too. Alright, here we are on Loughrin Lake. Starts off with a bit of a bog. Well, we're off here, another nice sunny day from Loughrin Lake, and the portage is right over here. First one of the day. It's just supposed to be a small one. Oh, that's a nice bonus. The water was high enough for us to just get right through here. Just finished paddling Loughrin Lake. Really nice little lake. And we're just at the start of the portage to Barred Owl. Here we are, we're on Barred Owl. Nice little lake here. We've certainly heard enough barred owls the last couple of nights. There's a mucky put in there, but otherwise pretty good. And this is the takeout from Barred Owl to Nod Lake. This is not a bad little campsite at all. We just took the little paddle across Nod Lake. There's a campsite there, which we checked out before on one of our other videos. Really nice one, actually, right off the trail. This one's an 1800. Oh, and side note, you can hear logging back up in there. Quite the ways, but it's an unmistakable mechanical sound with the odd thump. There's Canada Jays in here. Check this out. Here we are down at the Nipissing. This is, there's a little campsite here, and we're just sitting in the shade having our lunch. Our original trip, we were supposed to go, we had 2 extra nights. We were going to go to the to Gibson, and then back down the way we had come up before, and then paddle past the little cabin, which we've never done before. And then we were actually going to stay here for the night, but I'm glad we aren't, because there's not much here, and the put-in is low and it's swampy out there. Here's what you come into here. Looks like we gotta walk out in that muck though to get out of here. Okay, we're off, and that was as mucky as we thought it was going to be. Well, here we are at the portage. Got here awfully quick. Thought it was going to take longer. We have reserved the site at the end of the portage. We've got this nice little spot here down by the river. We're going to go down and take a dip. This is the start of the Allen Rapids portage. It's a bit of a long one. We just carried everything up on top of this hill. It's a lot easier up here just to pack up. We just finished the Allen Rapids. Here's a look at the portage we put in back at the Nipissing. And we're going to carry on here. This is what we've been drinking the last 2 days. Alright, this is a log jam. In 2020 we came through in the spring, so we got out here. Now on Jeff's map this is listed as a portage, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so this is a little lift through here. You carry it through, and then you got to get down and put it back in the water. Jeez. assuming this is the one before Graham's Dam. Okay, we're here at the Portage, which I thought was a 3 something. It's a 4.95. Nipissing to Nipissing, of course, but this is supposed to be Graham's Dam at the end. Nice spot. Dunked in the pool here and got cooled our bodies off. So hot again today. Real nice here. Alright, here we are, all set up on our site. Just sitting in our chairs, getting ready to start dinner.
So here we are at the bottom of the dam, and there is Brent, and he's fishing in his happy place. And that's what we have to come down tomorrow.
Got 3 more portages to do today. And this portage is the one with the old camp on it. Or had an old camp on it. The old stuff there. This is the Nipissing to High Falls portage. It starts with a nice uphill climb. There's all the old stuff that was here last time. There's an old bottle and a pot, a dish, and an old bed frame. Here we are. Last time we were here, we couldn't come down like this. It was too rainy and slippery. So there's a nice little spot here to come down a little trail, and you can just sit right by the falls. Very nice. Yeah, and this trail is still very sheer on the edge, like you would not want to fall down there. And we just stopped and had our lunch here at our old campsite on High Falls. You know, you get a nice comfy vibe here. It's a nice spot if you're ever in the area. It's a nice one. So that's the end of the High Falls portage. Back on the Nipissing here, very shallow. Gonna have to walk our stuff out here, and hopefully we can get by down there. I don't know. Well, we brought the canoe in here, and we're just gonna walk it up to about there, and then I think it almost looks like we could just ride it all the way out around the corner there. Anyway, that site looks a lot more appealing now because you can put in here on the rocks and just carry your stuff up. It looks really nice. Okay, we're all loaded up. This is our last portage of the day.
God.
Yep, I think at 8:95 or something. It's going to get us to camp pretty early again, but I mean, we're trying to take our time on this trip and enjoy the river. This looks like a deer and a wolf track. It's a beautiful morning again. We are just going to push it out just about there and then we can float. And we are heading to Nadine today. Yeah, we just stopped by the shore here to look at these nice set of fresh wolf tracks up the shore here. We saw some smaller ones earlier, but these ones are a lot bigger. I think there might have been two. We just stopped here for a few minutes, and there's supposed to be some old logging ruins up in here. Here, there's a trail over there, but it starts off in the mud, so if you start here, you can walk along this tree and just hop out over here, do a little bushwhacking. And I was only in here for a second, and I started seeing bottles like this. Oh, whiskey bottles? Probably. There's a couple of old buckets in here. Some old tin, usual buckets, the usual stuff. Hey, Gross. Hello. Supposed to be a horse-drawn water wagon in here somewhere, and I think I've seen pictures of it before. It's quite large. This is probably what's left of the cart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll let Elle take some better pictures than this thing is going to do. Over here, there's piles of old bed springs. There's a view from this side. You can see this tree fell on it. That's probably what really broke it apart. Might very well be more down in there, but it's tough traveling in here, so we're gonna head back to the canoe. Jungle explorers here. Trying to find our way through the ferns. Oh, there's the trail. Really nice view from up here. And here we are back again. These signs have had a bit of a hard time. Jeez. I don't know what it is that always tears these off. I've heard somewhere that certain animals like to chew on them. Just found this old axe head here. Pretty neat, pretty old. I think we're about halfway this trail. We just stopped for a drink, and it's been pretty much a gradual uphill the whole way. And it looks like it continues that way for a little while, but beautiful forest. We're here on Nadine. We're gonna go check out the lake. Looks like all the sites are empty, so we'll grab the nicest one we can find. What a nice morning today here on Nadine. And we are having a rest day here. I'm making these breakfast burritos. I'm only doing this meal twice because it is a lot of work. Already got my salsa rehydrated there. Beans are all cooked up. Scrambled eggs. I just add the cheese to the eggs and let it melt in there. Gonna see if we can find some fish out here. No luck last night, but we're getting out today before the sun gets too hot. Osprey maybe.
That is one big nest.
We just saw people, 2 canoes out there coming through. Those are the first people we've seen in 6 days. Well, this would have been 6 days if we hadn't seen anyone. So.
It was silent.
Oh, there he goes. See him? Go on, Moose. Just had our breakfast and just almost packed up and it started to rain. So that's the first rain in 9 days. And off we go after 2 days of rest on Nadine Lake. We're all loaded up at the portage. This is an 1830. Yeah. The rain is like pouring down, but oh, here it comes. It's not getting through the leaves, and it's bright over there. That is a spring. Here we are at Osler Lake. Another nice little lake. Pretty well used logging road there. Done that 700 and we are into Little Osler Lake now. Right away you can see there's a nice site there. This is the portage from Little Osler to Little Nadine. I was just passing by this tree I noticed all these marks. Look at, they go all the way up. Pretty sharp claws though. So there are bears here. They're just very good at staying out of the way. Alright, here we are at the end. That is a tough portage. A lot of up and down. And the downhill section is steep and long. But look at the bottom here. Something looks like something sat on this log and ate this little bird. There's nothing left but feathers. Had a good feed. Yeah, had a good feed. And little Nadine is just a little tiny little pond. This one's a swampy little takeout. And that Skuce. It's starting to rain again a little bit. We're going to go find a site. And we are all set up here on Skuce. Got the tarp up. It was raining when we pulled in, but the sun is shining out there and it's clear. The tent back up in there. So this is Skuce Lake. What you see is what you get. One campsite down there. This big island in the middle. Another campsite right over there. And of course the one we're on, the portage, is just around the corner up there. Leaving the Skuce Lake campsite and heading up to the portage. Oh, it's a fresh one too, eh? Jeez. Busy beavers. There's another bush road here. Pretty well maintained too. There's a sign here. It says Skuce Lake, which is where we just came from. All right, here we are down at Maple Creek. All right, we just did the first beaver dam of the creek. It's just a little 90-meter portage over to the other side of this. Now we're at the portage from Maple Creek up to Arbl. Back at the beginning of the portage, we thought we saw a track in the mud. Then we thought, almost looks like a small cat print. And sure enough, as we came around the corner, Elle saw a bobcat poke his head up and then jump over into the bush and get away. Here at the end of the Maple Creek, there's a track right there that is distinctly a cat track. We just saw an otter pop his head up, but he took off and haven't been back. So this is our site on Arbl. We went out and tried some fishing. Of course, we were unsuccessful as usual. But the flies, oh man, these little ankle biter flies are just, they started filling up the canoe and we couldn't stay out. We didn't have our insect repellent with us or anything, and they followed us in here, and they're, even with repellent on, they're still biting. They're terrible things. We were just sitting watching the loons, and this big storm blew in. Could see it coming up the lake, and oh, here it comes back again. It's getting closer. Here we are emerging from our tent at probably close to 8 o'clock. It rained all night. Boy, the forest sure needed it. Like I say, we've been in here, well, yesterday was 10 days without any rain.
"7:30 in the morning. Our rower friends, 3 of them in a canoe with the tunes for their beat. Crazy.
The rain just stopped, and it is 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
1 o'clock. And we're just trying to stay out of the wind, stay warm. It's gotten really cool and damp. We're just making a little rainy day snack. We have a couple of extra packages of our cheese left from our lunch and some wraps. So what we do is we slice it all up and just put it between 2 wraps and then heat it up on the fire. Have like a nice cheese melt. Just starting to clear up after around dinner time, and the as you can hear, the rain is back. We are sitting under the tarp here, just playing some dominoes and relaxing, but I think we're going to head into the tent again early. After 2 days here on Arbl, we are packed up. Little portage, 175, and it goes into actually a little creek. Campsite here on Portage. Cute little spot to stop though. Out of this and into portaging and smaller little creeks and ponds, which is nice on a windy day. All done the first little portage. The next one is just up here. So here's the campsite right at the end of this portage. Very nice. It wasn't a bad one, really. Yeah, that's a big one. Another real mucky put in here. Just got in here and the rain started, so we're gonna put our raincoats on now. Short paddle later, here we are at the last short one. We'll just finish that other portage, and we got a bit of river travel now up to the last one for the day. I'm sure about you or sit down there. It's like the remnants of an old cabin here. Not much left to it. Okay, we finished that one there. That's the last portage of the trip. We are all set up here on Kiosk Lake. So we got in just in time, set the tarps up, and boom, a great big rainstorm came through. So we got the third site. When you come out of the portage on the right, 1, 2, 3, I think we got the third one. And it's got a really nice view of the hills over there. Some of the leaves changing color. Well, the rain let up enough for us to have a little fire for our last night. And somebody had left a big pile of wood over there. It's really nice. Yeah, it's getting dark early. It's probably only about 7:30. That's been a nice trip. Had a great time here in Algonquin. We're going out one day early just because of the weather. And I think we'll probably try this side again. About 7:30 in the morning, and it rained almost all night. Even with this cool double tarp setup we have here, still pretty wet. So, but it's letting up a bit now, so we're gonna grab a quick breakfast, pack up, and get going. Here we are, we made it all the way across. A couple of big rainstorms, but the winds were really good, so it was no problem at all. There's our truck waiting for us as always. Just gonna head out. We're leaving a day early, so we got a refund for one day. And here we go, back out to the main highway. Look at all those turkeys over there.